Hello, everybody. This is Googly Goo. I'm doing Eviction PvP, and yeah, this is a game that I played a while back versus RZ. Um, if I remember correctly, I made a couple mistakes in my early build order here, but yeah. Anyway, just starting it off as usual with my little um, silicon slash unit factory. Yeah, kind of placed it in a way where I'd have to route the coal really far, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Wow, I'm really doing it in a strange way, but that's all right. Don't forget. Okay, good. Didn't forget the power. Connected all the other things. I am forgetting to rally the units, though, so I should probably... Yeah, there we go. Just got into it. But yeah, this is a game I played a while back. RZ actually posted it to his channel. He does also have a YouTube channel as well, so you guys can go check that out to see his point of view. But yeah, this was a good one. This was a fun game. I'm messing up my placements there a little bit too. But yeah, so far so good. I was a little slow to set up the initial silicon there, but you know, I'm getting into it. I'm not making too many mistakes. I'm just taking a while to do things that I should be doing. That looks like my main point of improvement I could do on this game, it looks like. So far. Anyway, I do know I make a mistake pretty soon here. But yeah, there it is. There it is. It's pneumatics instead of mechanical. Those were supposed to be mechanical drills. So that used up 30 of my graphite, so that kind of messes up my build order. And I'm not a very flexible player. I don't have enough practice in the game to like be as flexible as a lot of others do. I've actually been watching a lot of Pobernik's videos, and for those of you that don't know, I mean, in my opinion, he's the best like PvP player that I've seen. I've seen a few others, and I think he's gone up against opponents that you know he had hard times with, but he just has so much practice under his belt. Like he can, yeah, he's very good, very good. But anyway, why did I bring that up? So yeah, my point was that like he's just a very fast player. His core unit basically has no downtime. Like he's just it's just always building or mining or something, but most of the time building. And he has a very solid build order where he doesn't have to mine that much. My build order is a little bit different, and maybe I should adopt his, but I do end up having to mine like copper and lead a decent amount, whereas Pobernik just is constantly building. But I just don't have the fingers for that. Like I can't play the game as fast as he can. It's just insane the speeds that he has. But anyway, at this point I do have small amounts of income of everything. Oh, but yeah, at this point I should have more thorium income because me wasting that 30 graphite earlier, and I had just reclaimed the pneumatic drills now, so I can, you know, get that second thorium drill up. But yeah, that's kind of left me a little bit slow on thorium. By now I should have my titanium air blast drill up, but yeah, it's just taking some time. I also probably should have prioritized, yeah, exactly that, just putting a a water extractor on my graphite little factory there. And then, yeah, there we go, water extractor going down on thorium soon. Just kind of looking around because I don't really know what to do while I was waiting for my graphite to build up. But there we go. I'd say that was my main hang-up on this, on my initial start here, was just that little bit of graphite struggle. But other than that, I'm doing all right. I'm just checking the time here. It looks like we're about 5 minutes in. I should probably put a timer on the screen somewhere. Maybe I'll ask Laro, um, where like if that's a mod or something that he uses for his games, but I should probably put that on the screen for you guys as well. But I suppose you could just check the video length, so maybe not too much of an issue. But yeah, we're about 5 minutes in, so I'm pretty slow. I think I aim to have this stuff up like a minute earlier, so like yeah, could be doing better here. I noticed as well the hexes around my starting core, or my starting hex rather, like didn't have a lot of coal. Ideally I'd want a pretty coal-rich second hex, coal and water-rich second hex, so that I can set up my graphite and my silicon in there. Yeah, that's the main thing that goes down in that second hex. And I all want it to be close together so that I can dome it really quickly. So it looks like the hex just to the left of my second one that I'm setting up here does have the requirements. Like it has a lot of coal. It has, I'm pretty sure it had some water in there as well. But yeah, unfortunately, just wasn't close enough to my firsts for me to start setting up there. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to place my second silicon factory in this hex. Ideally, again, it would be in my second, but now it's in my third. Yeah, and again, I've been watching Pobernick's videos, and the speed at which he just puts stuff down is insane. Like, I look so slow. Like, just watching back my footage here, I feel so slow watching this back now. Like, look how slow I'm putting this bell set. Like, oh, I'll just put one up here, and then put one over there. In RZ's videos, too, like, he does everything very, very, like, snappy and quick. It's really interesting to watch other players' play styles and just like their habits, I guess. But yeah, that's basically all the things that I would normally set up in my second hex. Right now I'm expanding on my upgradable power scheme. That's going down my second hex right now. And I'm struggling to decide where to put my water extractors there, but I figured it out. I played a game recently against Sire, and I made so many mistakes. I don't know if I recorded that one. I might have. If I recorded that one, maybe I'll post that one too. But my biggest issue with the game I played against Sire was that what am I thinking? I'm getting so distracted. Was that I placed down an expensive version of my Plastanium schematic, which honestly I should probably just delete the expensive scheme because I should never use that ever again because that like set me back so much. Here I just like saw that I grabbed a core and RZ is already grabbing cores just north of me, so I wanted to set up a little bit of a defense just so that he can't take it for free. Like I know that's not actually gonna, that tiny defense that I just placed down isn't gonna hold up to much force, but it's better than nothing. He won't be able to take it for free. But I before building my Plastanium, I should have had my Titanium up. That's another mistake that I made here because I was kind of Titanium stalled for a bit there, and now I'm severely power stalled. I should have gotten power before anything, actually. I should have gotten power before Plastanium or Titanium. So again, yeah, I'm making a fair amount of mistakes here. I'm not very impressed with myself watching this back. Just checking that this is another upgradable schematic that I made. Just checking that if I upgrade it, it won't be too disrupted by that little oil block there. But yeah, I took another hex, and RZ's still north of me, so I'm just placing down another little scheme so that it's not free for him to take. Because right now I could just take his cores for free, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But instead I'm just going around expanding out, which is fine, you know? Keep it light, keep it chill. Don't want to start any conflict, you know? But here, what am I doing now? I think I'm going a little off script. I think in my third hex, I would typically do something, or fourth actually, yeah, fourth hex, I would typically do something else, but I think because of my earlier mistakes, I'm just like kind of freaking out, and I'm going for more power, it looks like. But yeah, here we go, dome, and I think I did a slash time on when it popped up or when it finished, so you guys will get to see exactly what time, or roughly what time I put the dome down. Yeah, there we go, slash time, 10 minutes 30 seconds on my first dome. Technically it's only working now, so 10 minutes and 40 seconds I guess is more accurate, but still a pretty decent time. In my practice, granted this is on like an ideal hex, and in like on a perfect hex where I have decent practice, because I practice on just a save file for eviction, and you know the randomness is eliminated if you just practice on the same save over and over. But yeah, on an ideal perfect save, perfect hex, I mean, I am able to get a dome down at 8 minutes 50 seconds, which is my record, which is insane. I'm very, very happy with that. I might post a video about my build order as well. That could be kind of fun. But here, I scout that RZ is building flares, and what do I do about it? That's right, nothing. I don't do anything. Like right now I'm just upgrading so that my core is defended, but that's it. Like I have many other buildings that are not my core that are very valuable that I should also be protecting, but am I? Not a chance. Not a chance. And even this core is a little sketchy. Like I only have two scatters defending this core, and they're not even near the core, but luckily I do have polys in the area, so they can keep the core alive against basically an infinite amount of flares, because they could just repair it. But yeah, that was rough. Again, I noticed the flares, but I didn't do anything about them. That's something I gotta get into the habit of doing, like just scouting my opponent and actually responding to it, instead of just scouting it, having the information, and continuing on my merry way and, you know, dying. Probably not the best strategy. And here he comes again, the flares, and I'm still not responding. Like I still don't have defenses up, and that was a really expensive loss. Like my plastanium, when you kill oil, it goes up in flames and does a big explosion around, and yeah, that was an expensive loss. Very, very expensive. Over here, I'm like, oh, you know what? I gotta defend my core, and that's kind of like the mindset I was in. And I was like, okay, if my core is safe, then I'm safe. But that is just not factual. Like I have very, very many buildings that are expensive and also need to be defended, and it's costing me dearly this game. Now I have a fire that I need to put out, and tsunamis aren't the cheapest thing, although I am banking up a lot of resources at this point. Like I'm pretty rich, so I probably should be. Oh, that stupid dagger was in the way of my little thing. So again, I'm defending the core, so at least I'm not going to lose all of the buildings in the hex. I'm just going to lose most of them. Well, not most, but like, you know, there's still very vulnerable buildings all over the place. But yeah, now I'm out of surge, because I started building surge defenses a little early. Now I'm figuring it out. Like, oh right, I can just place scatters all over the place with a single mechanical drill, and that'll keep me safe from flares, because really flares, like they're bad. They're not good units. They're only good if you're bad, you know? Like flares are only good if you neglect them and you don't set up a defense, but they're very, very easy to defend against. It costs like, I don't know, it costs a tiny bit of copper and lead to defend against like hundreds of flares, honestly. Like it's very, very efficient to defend against flares, but yeah, I kind of just still don't do it to the best of my ability here. I put down a few, but I could still do a lot more. Looks like, yeah, my power is struggling again. Don't know why that is in particular. I guess just, I don't know, messing up. But at least I'm rich, you know? At least I have a lot of resources still. I'm not broke on anything. And I should probably be using them, to be honest. Okay, no, actually, I am broke on Surge. I just realized, but I'm not broke on the basic resources. Surge you don't really use for very much. Like you can build up a lot without Surge. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's not that big of an issue. I've also neglected my units. Like I only started capturing another core now. What am I doing here? What's my plan? Looks like I'm going for, oh my god. Really struggling to choose a schematic here. But yeah, I see I have a lot of sand and coal in the core, so I can plop that down. And it'll start giving me a little bit more surge, which will be nice. There we go. And I'm finally starting the schematic that I should have placed down 5 minutes ago, essentially. Which is 50% of the game at this point, so I'm very slow. Very slow. Paying a lot of attention to who knows what. I'm just like looking around. Guess I'm just adjusting small little things here and there. I don't think I have any units still. But it looks like RZ is trying to run me out of Surge, which is actually very smart. Oh, Titanium is out. Okay, that's good. Well, that's not good. It's good that I'm, doing something about it. And now I'm getting attacked from daggers. I didn't even see that he had dagger factories, but I'm pretty sure these are just the ones that he had from the very beginning of the game. And then I just kind of panic and put down a bunch of hails as quickly as possible because I don't have any anti-ground defense. Well, I barely have any defense, to be honest, but yeah, he walks into the swarmers and then ends up losing all his dudes, which is good. But yeah, again, I lost my plastanium once again, and that's not very cheap. And I'm out of graphite now, which sucks. So I guess go place down a bunch more. I have one dagger in the way. God, that's so annoying. When one of your units gets in the way of you building. And my graphite schematic right there is actually pretty expensive. I've adjusted that. I've gone for a more cheap, less fancy version. But yeah, I'm very broke now. Struggling. I'm Silicon. And now I see that RZ's plopping down his huge self-sufficient Zenith factory, so I'm very behind because I don't have I don't have any T3 production. Like the oh my god, what am I saying? The hex to the south there with the big schematic, that one's going to be making megas eventually, but I still have a long ways to go. There we go. Just finished it up. Like, I should have just finished that a while ago. Like, I don't know. I guess I was needed. Like, I had to defend against the daggers and stuff. But, like, just like that, that's boosted my income, like, significantly. I'm struggling with my hotkeys here. But, yeah, I figured it out. I noticed that he just sent, like, what, like a handful, like 3 or 4 flares down to just mess up my power. I'm like, God, seriously, come on. At this point, I was like, I guess at the point where he was attacking with the daggers, I was like, oh my god, like I should just surrender. And like I saw that he was getting Zenith out, and I was like, oh my god, like this is not going well. I'm so far behind. So I was incredibly demoralized at this point. I'm pretty sure I was just like, Fucking damn it, like I hate this RZ. Oh shit, I don't know if I'm supposed to swear. Whatever, it is what it is. I just swore twice there. I, what was I saying? Yeah, I was very demoralized. I was like, ah, this RZ guy is such an annoying opponent. And somehow he gets even more damage done? Like, I don't know. I was, yeah, again, very, very demoralized. I was on the verge of giving up here. Because I was, you know, I'm out of graphite still. Like, I'm still struggling. I see that sand is out, which isn't great because a lot of my power relies on sand. So, yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit more sand into the core as well. But you know, I'm holding in there. I'm not losing any cores. His attacks have kind of mellowed out here, so I have some time to build and you know, take some space. Got a little defense scheme going on, defense / power. And now he's building his second Zenith factory, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, he's about to just clobber me. So I think I go around adding more defenses, maybe? Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to fit this, because, my god, is this convoluted over here. Okay, so I end up just moving stuff. And that is not... Okay, that's... that's not what that was supposed to be, but that's fine. Built a cryofluid mixer instead of a water extractor, but you know what? It's fine. I don't technically need the second water extractor. It'll work just fine without it. But yeah, graphite was my issue, but now I'm sitting at 1.2, 1.3k, so I'm actually kind of comfortable where I am. Getting more titanium income, because I don't have any megas yet. Do I? No, I don't think so. So I do need to just build drills for titanium. I'm moving my little dome so that I can actually cover that and get more out of it. Because now those 2 air blast drills are worth 5, essentially, which is very, very significant. There we go, just had to fix a little belt issue there. I should still be expanding more. Oh, and I'm freaking out a little bit because he has Zenith, so I'm just placing down defenses and walls, I guess, on that exposed side. Oh, I guess I do have megas. Okay, I do have megas, so that's good. And I see that I pretty much have enough to start building my own giant Zenith factory, my giant self-sufficient Zenith factory. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. This might actually get me back into the game. I could start putting pressure on RZ. And he takes out my main core, my starting hex there, which honestly I don't really care about because, well, my starting hex is not really worth much anymore. It doesn't have the level of production that any other of, yeah, you get it. It's just not, it's not good comparatively. So I have a few flares now. A few being 55, which is a pretty good amount, but at this stage of the game, that's not a lot, to be honest. And I'm just kind of sharking around looking for an opening where I can do some damage. I don't suspect I'll be able to take out a core, but I can start some fires here and there and, you know, take his attention away while my core unit is just building. It's just kind of re-APM. And yeah, I'm completely out of phase at this point, so I'm gonna start putting down some phase factories. I do this in a kind of funky way, but I figure it out eventually. Gotta power everything up. Very good, very good. What's going on here? Why is this still not operating? Yeah, at this point he's very, very ahead of me in terms of Zenith. I don't think I have a single one out yet, but they're getting there. I'm producing some. He's going around. What's he going for? He's going for that hex. I think he takes it? Yeah, he takes it. Yep. At this point, too, I'm like, oh my god, I should just give up. Like, that was a pretty bad hit, but just hang in there, Eric. You can do this. You can do this. I just didn't have any... Well, I probably did have polys in position there, but I just did not respond fast enough whatsoever. Not sure what happened there. I guess he must have just sent some flares in and took out a little portion of that X. But now I'm getting another gigantic schematic, because again, I have thousands of every basic resource. The only thing I'm lacking is phase. And yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well in general. So my resources are decent, but just the pressure that RZ keeps putting on is just is very, very demoralizing. That's the main thing. And he has what are those called? Fortresses out now, and they're doing some damage, but yeah. I can just have some guys sit out here. He took out my Plastanium yet again. That poor Plastanium has not been very, very happy this whole game. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my Zenith there so that he can't actually push in and kill the core, because even though he took out a big portion of it, like that stuff is not as valuable either. Like I have thousands of most resources. Like I'm actually doing okay. Looks like Silicon's actually struggling, but it's fluctuating. Dipped under 1,000 there, but it's back up. And now it's time for me to, shark around and find some openings. Pretty undefended back here, so I can get a little bit of free damage done. I gotta get the sand drills into this so that I can actually start producing. Gotta, adjust the inputs there a little bit. There we go. And then power it all. Send power everywhere. I haven't actually checked my power. Well, maybe I did in game, but I haven't been paying attention to my power as I'm recording this voiceover. I don't know what my power situation is looking like, but I'm sure it's fine. Like, oh, there we go. Plus 9.2k I saw, so that's pretty good. That gives me enough confidence to build a flare factory. And most of that is domed, so... And he actually finished taking out that hex there, so that was pretty brutal. Not gonna lie, I'm not thrilled about that, but I did get my other big scheme. The one that I built the most recently, like the giant schematic, that one makes every resource. That makes metaglass, graphite, phase, surge, plastanium. That makes everything. So even though I lost, I've been losing a few hexes. Like my resource production is pretty much accounted for. Like I'm good. And those are very, very difficult hexes to take for him to attack into. So I know those are pretty safe, and my resource situation is pretty accounted for, I guess. So I'm just going in. I'm attacking from a distance. I know he's got fuses in the center of his hexes there, so I want to attack from outside of the fuse range because they will absolutely melt my guys. I'm trying to do multiple things at once so that I'm, attacking and also ecoing a little bit and harassing and just doing damage, making so that he has to pay attention to my forces. And I see, like, this is not a very upgraded hex, and I could probably take a bunch of these. This one, I can't remember if I take this one. No, it looks like he got his megas in there to heal the core a little bit faster than I was able to. So what am I doing now? I guess I'm setting my unit rallies so that I can start taking hexes and, again, do multiple things at once. And then I'm just going to sit right back on top of his huge Zenith factory and do some damage. And I'm still just trying to shark around and do what I can. But now that I have more space, I have the resources to just plop down large schematics. I can just do this. Just struggling to find a little spot for that. There we go. And then set up everything that needs to be set up. And then I can go back to microing my units. He's going in for a bit of an attack here, so I want to get my megas to heal my buildings and keep myself safe and alive. So I figure, he's going for an attack, I'll go for an attack. Maybe it'll distract him and he won't be able to kill me. Just checking, making sure that that's still going strong. And I don't have that many units at this point. But I'm just trying to take space and get to his more vulnerable cores, because like he doesn't actually have that many defenses. Like he's pretty exposed on a lot of his cores, and if I'm able to just build up enough of a big enough army and kind of dodge his big defended hexes, like I should be able to do some significant damage like he just did to me. My god. Fortresses, I should probably use them more. They're pretty good. Like, look at this shit. Although they are pretty easily countered, which I didn't remember until I think I do it soon. But fortresses are not very good against projectors, force projectors, force field things. Shields. just put those down, and they really struggle to do damage. Yeah, they've got a bit of fire going on, so I gotta put down more tsunamis. Looks like RZ's trying to get up some T4, which is that could be game ending there. Like there's not much I'd be able to do against T4. And I accidentally killed his hex. I did not want to do that because that took out like half my zenith there, and I wanted to go in and attack him from behind, but made a big mistake there. Anyway, I have a decent flare force. I want to go, again, just take hexes close to him and put the pressure on him now. And here he comes for another attack. It looks like he's still struggling to get his T4 up, so while I am still definitely on a timer, it looks like he's going to take a while to get it up. And my lead was doing funky things there. It was at 0 for a second, now it's at 3.5k. I just have so many units mining, I guess. And now my titanium's at 0, which is bad. I'm not gonna mince words here, that's not a good thing. But he still hasn't set up defenses back here, so I'm just gonna do some damage while I can. And he's not really paying attention to this, so I can do some good damage here with all my zenith that I have. And I have a bunch of flares as well. I'm just gonna take free cores. I don't really know what's going on at my base at this point, but I think I'm pretty confident that he won't be able to do as much damage to me as I am to him. I actually managed to take that core too. Looks like he ends up just sitting a bunch of his zenith in the little dead defense space there, so I tried to take my zenith to push him into a more well-defended area, and it works out pretty well. The stuff that he destroyed is valuable, but it's not the end of the world. So here, yeah. Oh, I guess I did do it earlier, but yeah, just throwing down as many force projectors as I can, and that'll keep basically everything safe. Yeah, the fortresses really struggle against that. And I see that he's trying to snipe my megas, so I move them away. I want to keep my megas alive. They're very valuable. I need them to mine titanium for me. As you can see, I'm like under 100 right now. I definitely need megas. But yeah, I've done really good damage to him, and it doesn't look like he's retaken the cores that I took out, so I'm going to just continue to put the pressure on now that I know that I'm pretty safe. And this is very exposed, so I go kill that quickly. My core unit was stuck in the center of a mega ball. I thought I took this core earlier, but I guess not. So I'm just trying to find a place to expand now, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this is all exposed to, like, I can just sit my zenith there and they'll do damage to his power. I think I'm just too caught up in microing. Like, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm feeling, I can smell the blood in the water, so I'm just kind of going for it. I don't think I have my core unit doing anything right now, which is a mistake, frankly. I Like, I should be having my core unit building at this point, but that's okay. Yeah, his power is down, his shields are all down. I can pretty easily just take this huge ball of zenith and just rake it over his buildings, and like, even though the core isn't dead, like all his buildings are, so basically as good as just killing it. And I actually, yeah, I guess I do end up killing that as well. But yeah, there he goes. He taps out there. I don't even have an excuse for this round, he says. And then I guess I get a little salty because he mentioned, he's like, Googly is only a threat if you leave him alone for 15 minutes. And yeah, definitely salty here. So I'm just like quoting him. I'm like, yeah, I beat you. It's a bit toxic, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I ended up getting him there. And then the rest of the game is pretty straightforward. There isn't really anyone that can put up a significant fight against me. So yeah, GG RZ, that was fun. Good game.